Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and welcome to the Word According to Me. This one we're doing today is we are reviewing my tumultuous 29 year and looking forward to my hopefully less tumultuous 2020 year. So, I guess we got to start. We're gonna go back and review 2019. We have to go back to 2018, and in 2018, the last bit of it. Um, as most some of you may know, some of you may not know, but some of you may know, who've been with me for the channel for the longest time. I was in graphic design school. I was in a school called Illinois Institute of Art in Chicago, and I was there for graphic design. And my first intention, I've been there since 2013, and my first I went there just to get the associate degree, and I thought I could get, associate's degree, and then I could move into the field. Once I got the associate's degree, I got my associate's degree, but not finding a job and everything like that, I had to go back to school and just go ahead and get the bachelor's, right? So I had to go back and get the bachelor's. Um, so we're back. So then, at some point, 2018, they decided to close the school. And the school closed with me having two classes left. Two classes left. So that was awful. So uh, I decided to. Um, so then now as we go into 2019, I decided I was looking for other schools, and there was a couple other schools there that I could try to go to, and one of them was Robert Morris University. So and still in Chicago. So I was like, okay, yeah, and everything seemed to work out. I could go there. All of my classes had transferred over there, and everything was fine. But unfortunately, I was not able to get the money for it. I just I was using cosigner, and my cosigner um, had already taken out other loans, and so I couldn't get a loan to go to school. So, and that was most of January and going into February. So then I decided, well, what can I do? I didn't want to leave Chicago. I could, seemingly didn't want to, you know, I just didn't know, what to do because there was some talk about that at that point. So I made a deal with my co-signer that if I couldn't find a job um, within 6 months, 6, 7 months of I made this, in February. Um, that was in February. I made this deal with them in February. And if I couldn't find a, job that we would look for a loan. We would take out like a loan of $10,000, right? And I would use that $10,000 over 6 months to try and stay in Chicago, live in Chicago, and then find a job. And if I couldn't find a job after those 6 months, then I would come to Chicago, right? I would go to Chicago, and I would leave Chicago, and I would come, and I would come here to Charlotte, which is where it was. And I can say my soul sign. I could say it was my mother. So it was my mother who I was made that deal with, who was also my co-signer for all of my loans and on Sally Mae. So she agreed, um, and she didn't have to, because I was just putting more on her plate. But she decided to, because I wanted to stay in Chicago, and she knew that it was probably the best place for me, because coming down here to Charlotte, where it's so friggin' hot, and this is just the January, and don't get me wrong, they're having crazy weather in Chicago. Global warming is real, folks. We're having, Chicago's having 50, even 60-degree weather in here in dead of winter, and you know, so either global, well, it could be part of global warming, the seasons kind of shifting and moving away, or maybe something like that. I don't know, but anyway, that's not why I talk about global warming. Um, but so she agreed, and then starting in March, I was going to, you know, take that money, and then I was going to, for 6 months, stay there and try to look for a job. But something came up because going back to 2018 in November, again, as some of you guys may remember, I started for some reason having trouble with my hands and my fingers, and my fingers would get all tingly and numb. And even today, I still wear these gloves and these kind of open hand gloves, these copper infused gloves, because I was getting a lot of tingling in my hands and tingling in my fingers, and I couldn't open jars, in things of jelly, and I couldn't hold a fork correctly or a knife correctly, and it was frustrating. So after going through a whole lot of things and going through some doctors here and there, um, finally found out that we went to a neurosurgeon, and actually we went to a neuro we went to a I went to a neuro whatever. I went to a head doctor, and we took X-rays and MRIs and all that stuff, and we found out that there was like some stuff in my there was a disc that could have been causing the neuropathy, which is what kind of like the fingers and things called, and it was causing some of the tingling, and so then we got to a doctor, and then we set up a time in March to where I needed to have surgery on my neck to replace the disc, get the neck fusion surgery. I think it's the same surgery that like a lot of the wrestlers got. Kurt Angle, Edge, Chris Benoit. I'm sure there's been other athletes who have gotten the neck surgery as well. So in March I had surgery. So then that caused a little bit of a downtick in finding a job, because I couldn't do manual work. I couldn't do manual work, and to be honest, I didn't want to do manual work in anyway, but I would have done some type of manual work, just so that I could have maybe, while I was trying to look for, something else, just to, get the bills done, like I would have done something. But I couldn't do something because I couldn't lift. I had lift restrictions. I had movement restrictions. So I was looking for other jobs, and while I was there, and so I had the neck surgery, and then came April where I had something wrong with my foot, and that was god awful. And then so going through May, and then June and July, all the way into August, where I just couldn't find a job. I was looking every day, and searching, going online, and I just couldn't find a job anywhere. And I was just like, come on, what's going on? And this wasn't like jobs that I wasn't, you know, it was things just like working at restaurants, or, you know, doing this and doing, and it's like I wasn't able to get nothing, anything, man. And it was just so frustrating. And here I was coming up on the end of this 6 month thing where I had to find a job, and it just didn't work for me. And so then now finally, as we get to so I should say that, also during this time when, I didn't have a lot of money. I had some money, so I was paying rent and paying my other bills, and so then I would have just, stuff here or there. So I was not eating as much as I would normally eat, and I was starting to lose weight. I lost a lot of weight over, from my surgery. Um, for my surgery, March 18th, I got here weighed. I was 299. It's the first time in several years I had been under 300 pounds, and By the time I left um, Chicago to come down to Charlotte, I was somewhere in between 230 and 235. So I had lost over 60 pounds in those six months. And that goes to what I was also doing, because as I was losing this weight, I've also been on medication. I have type 2 diabetes. I have high cholesterol. I have high blood pressure. So I was on a lot of medication. And when I would go out, I would get these spells of, you know, and I didn't know what it was. My eyes were very, my eyes would get sensitive to the sun and to the light. And I was just so tired and I felt so weak and I didn't know what it was. And then one day when I was going for a job interview, and I went the wrong way, and I couldn't find the job interview, and everything get to me, and I fell out. And I didn't pass out, but I fell out. I fell down. I felt so bad. I fell down the ground, and I said, I have to call the hospital. So, and this was in early September, and I called 911, and I was taken to a hospital, and I was kept for a couple of days because I got dehydrated. So all of the all of the medication I was taking, combined with not eating, very much and everything like that, caused me to pass out, caused me to get dehydrated. So, and they wanted to keep me in for a long time, but we were coming up on that deadline, right? Because I had set like a deadline of September 10th or something like that, or September, something like that, for to find that job, because I knew that uh, the landlords, the companies that was uh, doing my rent, they would they would go ahead and probably they were going to start sending me a 5-day notice, and I thought it was going to be around the 10th, and actually it was probably later on, and it would have probably been later on in the month, maybe like the 15th or the 20th, something like that. Yeah, that's what happened later on, but that's neither here nor there. Um, um, and so I was released from the hospital on my own. Um, and when you know it, I was able to go back to call that job place that I was going to. I got another interview. I was hired, and I went to the job, and the job was, well, it was what it was. Um, it was appointment setting, and you had to call owners of businesses to see if they would take an appointment with the representative that wanted to come out and talk to them about come in there and talk to them about changing the way they would process credit cards. And I had to do that, so I had to sit down. Now, sit down and make phone calls to owners. And to be honest with you, the job wasn't for me. It just wasn't. But I had to do it because I was needed work. Um, so so I did. And the people were nice. People were good there. I enjoyed the people. I think the two things was that the job wasn't really conducive for me, and the the travel was just horrible. That was the worst part. If it was downtown, it would have been nothing. If it was downtown Chicago, it would have been. I would have I wouldn't can't say I would have been there because I wasn't making the quotas in my at a 30-day trial. I wasn't making the quotas of the 30-day trial, but but I still could have um, I could have done anything, right? I could have if it was downtown, I would have loved it, but it was 'cause that would have been maybe like a 45-minute trek, from where I was living at the time in Rogers Park to downtown, 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. It would have been a lot better than the 2.5-hour commute that I had. And that was awful because I'm not someone at this point that needs to, at some I used to be able to get up early, and it'd be okay, and I wouldn't have any problems with it. It wouldn't affect me. But getting up early now affects me. Getting up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I was getting up at 5. 5 or 5:30, something like that. I was getting up at 5:30, and it was just and I was and I guess you could say, well, you could go to sleep early, but I didn't want to go to sleep early. There was other things I wanted to see, things on television. So it's just not conducive for me to get up early every day anymore. Getting up early once every while is totally fine, but getting up early every day, no, not for me, not anymore. Um, so, but anyway, um, so had that job, and had that job for about I had the job for the 30 days, and then after the 30 days we decided to part ways. Um, because I wasn't doing the quotas and everything like that, and it just wasn't right for me. And the supervisor there, he was he really thought that I could do the job, and he thought that I could, and he really tried to give me every chance, but it just wasn't gonna happen. I just wasn't, by the time I was getting there, I wasn't doing any things to begin with. So, you know, so then that led into October, and October came, and I couldn't find another job, and then I couldn't find a job through November, and then, and then I had to unfortunately leave Chicago, and my mother came to Chicago from Charlotte, and came and got me and brought me down here, and then I spent the rest of 2019 down here, and where we just and the reason why she brought me down here because she wanted me to get back on my feet. I was there 6 months, and here it is. I couldn't find a job. I can't find a job doing anything. So what's the deal? So she said needed to come down here and do something. Find some way to do something. So when I get that, before I left, the week, one of the days before I left, I heard a commercial about a computer school that would teach you information technology, and it sounded cool. What the thing that got me was that it started that you could get work in just 4 months, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's perfect because that's what I want to do. Because I'm coming down here to Charlotte not to stay. I'm coming down here to get myself back together so that I can go back to Chicago. That's what I want to do. I want to go back to Chicago, and so I heard that commercial and found out. I came down here, and yes, there was there was some interest, and we got to it, and yeah, so I'm gonna be doing this school, and we're not gonna be doing it like I thought it was. Originally thought that I was gonna be starting the school yesterday, but unfortunately we weren't able to get some of the things in time for the deadline, so it's gonna start in February. So, but yeah, and then just recently we had went and saw my family. Went and had Christmas in New Orleans with my family, and New Orleans was okay. Because always enjoy spending time with my family, but it really made me feel homesick because we were in this time zone that of Chicago, and then their cable is just like the cable in Chicago, and then other things that have happened. Other things have happened. Since I've come down to Charlotte, there've been some other things that have happened, some personal things that I won't get into at this time. Um, Mainly because they involve my mother, and some of it's her business as well. So I don't, I kind of already crossed that line of putting out her business on social media when I shouldn't have. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to talk about it, at least right now. Maybe at some point down the line, I will talk about it. I'll try to just talk about my stuff or anything like that. But not right now. But some other things have happened, and that's been on my mind. That was on my mind down in New Orleans. So as much as good as the time as I have, I couldn't enjoy it as much. And yeah, in 2019, ended yesterday, and me and my mother, we had a good old time. We watched she ain't never seen Captain Marvel, so we watched Captain Marvel, and once again, I think that movie is a very good movie, and I think the people who just hate it because it's like the women empowerment stuff, and everybody's talking about that. But that's a really good movie. That's a really good movie. Once again, I enjoyed the hell out of it. But so we had a little toast of non-champagne. We had sparkling grape juice, and it was a really fun time. So um and yeah, so that was really my 2019. Very tumultuous, very just and overall just a very, even though there was some nice positive moments, really just truly, I think this is a really bad year for me. Of my life. 2019 may have been the worst year of my life. I can't think of a worse year. Maybe I can. you know, maybe those 20 those early 2010s from 2011 and 2012 and things like that when I was staying with my uncle, and again I was trying to find jobs and I couldn't find jobs, and I wasn't just we were getting into it every day, seemingly every day about it, about certain things and things like that, and it was just awful, and these drug addicts around him and everything like that. So it was, but there was still some hope. There was still a lot. I shouldn't say hope. I guess it's a little hope now, but it was, I was younger. I guess you could say I was younger, and now at 37, it's a little bit worse. So, but yeah, that was 2019 for me. So, what does 2020 hold for your boy AJ Trip? I don't know. Like we just mentioned, I will be starting in IT school online. I'll be doing it online. Um, Starting that in February, and I hope that they keep their word, and I hope that they can find me a job in 4 months. Now, also here's the thing I should have said. Um, Even though you can find, they'll find you a job in 4 months, you still have to continue on with the school until you finish. So, but since you're doing it online, this is also one of these type of jobs where you can work from home. So I'm hoping that I can work from home, and then also, also still doing what I was also doing the schooling from online and everything like that. So, um, I'm not, I wasn't a big fan of actually school because I've done so much schooling. Not only, you know, the normal school that you do in the high school, but, I did a teeny amount of community college, which I didn't like. Because when I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I did that, and that was awful. And then I tried to, I went years, and then I went to the broadcasting school in 2006, which I really liked that. And but I couldn't find a job. After I graduated the broadcasting school, I couldn't find a job in there, and that was mainly because the internship is the way you kind of get your job in through radio and TV broadcasting. But I got screwed out of that, and that's a story for another time. Um, that might, yeah, I know the story time videos here. I may have to come up with like a story time segment of my channel. Uh, so so yeah, that was that. Um, and it was, so then that was that, and then I went back a couple years later for for pharmacy technology to be a pharmacy tech and with that, and I couldn't get a job doing that. And then I told you about the school for graphic design, and then now here I am again. I'm going to school again at 37, and it's I don't know. So this could really be this really is probably my last chance because if I can't get this school and if I can't find a job with this, then it's just gonna be over for me, and I just don't know what else to do. I can't just you know can't leech off my mom forever, and then you know so and then there's also the fact of this right of this. What am I doing here with YouTube and on my other content creation and that's still really the really thing I really want to do. I still want to doing the content creation from here with the YouTube channel and then my podcast and gaming on Twitch. Through all of those things, whether it's a one thing or it's a combination of two or three of those things, that these would come up, and then I would start making money off of that, the um, whether it's through the ads or through support from people, and we'll get to that in a second, or whether it's through sponsorships or whatever. Then I would start making money where I could, do this for a living. That's still my main goal, and then my main goal since 2017 is to do something like this for a living, and that's the goal. Doing this IT, if I have, the IT is just something to do until this comes out or until whatever. But I would like for this. I would like for this to be my job. Coming here and doing this and doing my everything involving with the content creation. That's the main thing. But the IT is something that is on my radar right now as well. Something that would at least help me get to. The IT is what's going to help me get back to Chicago, and then the IT is what's gonna help support me while I try to get this done. That's the way I see it. So, um, and it could very well end up being um, my full job because this could never appear and that never happened, and I truly know that. Um, but I'm hoping it will happen. So, and hopefully it happens in 2020. And and I'm hoping for a lot of things to happen in 2020. Just to be better than 2019 and everything. So my and that's for like the stuff that's going on with everything. I'm gonna be trying my best to still do a lot of the other things. Even though I'm at the school and I gotta put everything into the school and everything like that to make sure that I can I get through this and pass this and so that I can you know that I can be a productive member of society. I still want to do this. I'm still gonna try my best to do my my videos. Still gonna try my best to game over on Twitch. And it may not be the super long things that I used to do, where I would do 7, 8, 9, even 12-hour live streams. That may not be. It may just be like a 1 or 2 hour thing. But I'm still gonna try the game on Twitch. I'm still gonna try to do these videos. I'm probably not gonna be able to do like a bunch of try not to laughs, anything like that. But I'm still gonna keep record for them and things like that. I'm still gonna try to do reaction videos when they come, especially for like the Marvel videos and for anything like that. So still gonna try to do that. I'm still gonna try to do other videos and you know, some other things, especially I got this upcoming month, January, and I got a bunch of ideas. I'm gonna try to get those ideas out for like top 10 lists and other things and things like that, and then try to get those done, throughout the rest of this month, because I don't know how February is gonna act with going to the school. Um, And then of course I got like my wrestling stuff. I don't. Um, I still think I can do the reaction to the wrestlings. To the wrestlings. To the wrestling, to WWE and everything like that. And I still plan on doing my weekly show of That's a Shoot. It's now going to be on Saturdays, um, as we now have Monday Night Raw, and then the Wednesday War of NXT and AEW, and then Friday Night SmackDown. And I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm trying to put that out Saturday, some point Saturday. Um, I have my That's a Shoot episode every Saturday. My podcast, I think it's still gonna be it's still gonna be that. Things are gonna change because I was doing one, trying to do one every week because it's football season. You got to do one for football season. So I'm not sure what to do now that football season is over. I'm not sure what to do football season over. If I need to do it, like if I need to do a weekly, or we just go back to being bi-weekly, or just do a podcast whenever I feel like it. That may be it as well. Whenever something happens or whenever something I want to do or talk about something like that, just do a podcast just to do a podcast. So that might be, um, that might be something that I might do. But for the most part, I think that's what's going to happen. I think I'm going to continue on with the podcast for um, the rest of the playoffs, and then after the Super Bowl, and then after that, we'll that's what we'll do. We'll just do podcasts here and there when something happens, something goes down, when things are around and around arisen and all that other stuff, and maybe we might do specific things. I also think that I'm gonna start doing prediction, and I'm gonna start keeping record of my predictions of every pay per view, not just the four major, of every pay per view. And I think we're going to turn those into podcasts as well. So a lot of things that I'm gonna try to do in 2020. So yeah, and as for like the financial aspects of it and trying to make money off of this, I've got a bunch of things. I got my podcast thing where you can subscribe to my podcast, and I got things where like if you don't necessarily like if you don't want to just like if you don't want to like 'cause I almost gonna feel bad on some point of asking you to pay for things, so, but that is the way of the world, right? That's just as much as I want to get, you know, so I do. I have an anchor, which is I use as my platform for my podcast. They have a subscription thing already built in, so the link is down in the description box below. So if you are on my podcast, you want to support me on my podcast, you can do that. There are like 3 tiers. There's nothing special. You don't get like any kind of benefits or anything like that. It's just 99 cent tier, $4.99, and then $9.99, and then you can select any one. You can pay those per month. So it's a per monthly based thing, and so that's what happens with that. Then I have like the PayPal and my Cash App, where if you just want to tip me, like if you're watching on my Twitch, or if you're watching me stream on my other YouTube channel, on my gaming channel, and if you're not subscribed to both, you should subscribe to both. But if you're doing that, then yeah, you can like go ahead and do that. You can just tip me whatever you want with the Cash App or with the thing, and that's perfectly fine too. I appreciate that. And then I've broken down and I've started a Patreon. Yes, started a Patreon, and so what that entails is I've got 3 tiers. I've got like $1 tier, I've got a $5 tier, and I got a $10 tier, I believe. Hold on. Okay, I have to get used to doing these, and I don't need to start memorizing these by heart, because here are the tiers. $1 a month per month. And if you sign up for that tier, it's just because again you want to you like what you see, you like what you hear on the podcast, or you like what you see on Twitch, anything like that, and then you pay $1. There's $1 per month, right? Um, then there's the $10 tier. I call it "You Like Me, You Really Like Me," which is that you like me so much that you want to see me continue to make all of the stuff, all of the stuff that you do, and all the stuff that I do, the videos, the twitching, and the podcasting, and everything like that, and maybe even some other things you may see me as well. So maybe you follow me on like Twitch or on Twitter or Instagram or something like that, and you like what I do there as well. So then you sign up for $10 a month, and that one, the benefits for that would be suggestion or polls would include your fans on the creative process, meaning that you know I would probably put a poll up of maybe what's the next video you would like me for me to work on, or maybe like what's the next thing you like for me, the next thing you want me to dive into on my podcast, or what would be the next, or what I'm gonna stream this day. What would you like to see me stream? So I'm gonna put those things up and everything like that, and so that's gonna be good too, and then the super fan is $25 a month, and if you really love what I do and you just can't do without me, you don't want me to stop anything like that, you sign up for $25 per month, and the same thing is you're gonna get the suggestions and polls and things like that. But what you also would do is you would get recognition. Um, at the end of my videos, every video that I do, I'm gonna put up a thank you to the Patreon. Thank you to my Patreons for making this video possible and something like that. And so you will get recognized at the end of each and every video, thanking you for being a Patreon. And also there also be giveaways. Once I am able to do that, I would probably take one of those $25, and I would probably I probably would buy a gift card, you know, and then and have the giveaway for that month, you know, where at the end of the month, just a random Patreon will get get a $25 gift card. And there might be other giveaways as well, only for the Patreons. It depends on on how well this goes and everything like that. So, but yeah, it's something, and there might be other giveaways too. Maybe that's not like gift card. Maybe some other things, like if I ever come across some big, or I buy something or anything like that. So I do need to try to get back to that Amazon affiliate. Being an Amazon affiliate. It didn't work for me, but I like to try to get back on that. So yeah. So I mean, now that I have a Patreon, again, you just it's three tiers: $1, $10, and $25, and the benefits that you get for signing up for the $10 and the $25 one, they are only going to start. They're only going to start once I get to 100 once I get to 100 patrons. Once I get to 100 patrons, um, and that's all together. That's between all three tiers. Once I get a total combined of 100 patrons, um, that's when the benefits will start, and I'll start putting up polls and benefits and other things like that. So, well, actually, you know what? Actually, no, I don't think it's all three. Actually, it's between the two, the $10 and $25. Yeah, I believe that's how I have it set up. So, 100 patrons between the $10 and $25 patrons, then all the benefits would come up. So yeah, I'm trying to become a true content creator, and I hope that if you are a fan of me, you will support me. Again, you can support me in any way. I'm not asking you to be 25, 10. I'm not asking you to On my podcast, go 9.99. You can go 4.99. You can go 99¢. I'm just saying that if you like what you see, you like what you hear, and you wanna and you feel the need to to like, hey, I want to support this guy, then you can go ahead and support me in any way that you like on Twitch. You can subscribe, subscribe to me. That's one of the things that even on Twitch, you can subscribe to me. You can subscribe to me on Twitch, so you can do that, or you can come to the Patreon. So it doesn't it's everything what you know what you feel the need to do. And so I just appreciate the support and any support that you give me, because I'm just thankful that you would feel that I am worthy enough to get your support. And that would all just mean that is what means the most to me, that I am worthy enough to get your support. And so I appreciate anything that you do. So um yeah, I think that's it for what's happening with me, what I want to happen in 2020, what's happening with me, uh, with the other stuff, with the going to the school and trying to become an IT person, and what's going on here with my content creator, and I guess you could say an influencer. I don't like that term. I'd rather be a content creator, because I don't think I'm going to influence anything, really. But an influencer, content creator, whatever. So, um, yeah, that's it for 2020. So, yeah, that's it. That's the 2019 year in review for me, and then my 2020 outlook. Once again, I just hope that things turn out better in 2020 than they did in 2019. So, and unfortunately, I'm gonna miss a lot of good things in 2020 because I'm down here in Charlotte, not in Chicago, and that's unfortunate and for me. So, and with some of the personal issues I talked about, some other things may happen, and so 2020 could be just as bad, maybe even worse than 2019. But I hope for the best. I hope for the best. So let me know what you guys think about let me know down in the comment section about your 2019 and what you're looking for in 2020 and what you want to have happen and everything that happened in 2019. So give me all your information. Let me know let me know everything about you down in the comment section. Once again, I thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Trip signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.